I'm Jack the Greek and welcome back for another episode. Today we're going to cook something with our main ingredient being spanaki. Yes, spinach. And again we're going to show how versatile the crossroad barbecue is. We show many videos with chops, steaks, sausages, roasts, but we don't always show enough on how to use the frying pan. And yes, thanks to the technology of the crossroad barbecue, we can always use our frying pan to cook any kind of meal you like on the crossroad barbecue. So now, what we're going to do is we've got our core ingredients. Spanaki. We're also going to have some leek as well, but we've got onion, butter, garlic and some stock, and of course our risotto, olive oil and some wine, and of course we can't go past our salt and pepper. So the first thing we're going to do is start preparing our spanaki, our spinach. And with our spinach, I'm going to put it in a bowl, and I'm doing this on purpose, so I want to break it down a little bit. I don't want all the liquids in it, the moisture, to go into my dish. So I'm just going to break this up, just like that, nice and rustic, and put it in there. And what I'm going to do is put a little bit of salt, just like this. Plenty of salt all the way through it, just like that. And I'm going to break it up. I'm going to scrunch it. Others like to blanch it first, but I, Jack the Greek, prefer just to scrunch it. And what this will do is break it all up and take out most of the moisture before I put it into the rice at the end. So we've got a few more here, just like this. There we go. Put that in as well, just there. So we'll put that aside. We'll clean our hands, and then we're going to start preparing our pan. The first thing we're going to do is grab our beautiful olive oil and start browning our rice. So we'll grab our pan. It should have warmed up by now. I need to tell to grab it because it is a bit hot. And here we go. I've got one here, but I've got one behind me, I thought. But there we go. So we'll grab that just like this. Beautiful. And put it just there. It is very warm. And we'll grab our olive oil just like this and pour it in again. There we go. That's enough. That should be enough olive oil. Just put it there on the crossroad barbecue. What we'll do next is grab our onion. So we'll grab our onion and we'll just toss it in. There you go. You can hear it go. Beautiful. We've got a spare one just in case it's not enough. You can always add a bit later. To come in close, you just have a look here how it's going. You can see how it needs to start caramelising. There we go. We've had all 4 burners on high just to get our heat up and going, and now I've just turned them on low. So we've got that. And we've also got now our garlic. So we're going to put our garlic in as well. There we go. Our next ingredient after this will be a little bit of wine. We'll give that a couple of minutes. Now our onion is caramelised. We'll come back here to the front and we'll get our rice ready. So we'll grab our rice. The key is to make sure you get the rice that's designed for risotto. Sometimes I have made a mistake when I've rushed, but we're going to do about a cup. For the pan that I've got, you probably need about a cup, just like that. Probably get away with a little bit more if you wanted to. So we'll put it back in, and we'll put our rice in the pan as well, just like that. Give it a bit of a mix. And what we want to do is just keep it warm. We want to just to warm it up a little bit, and then we'll add our onion. Our wine. So you can see, if you want to come in close, how the rice is starting to change colour a little bit. That tells me it's now ready. So what we're going to do is grab our wine. White wine, just like that. Probably just half a cup. And we're going to let that just simmer away. And you've got to make sure that the alcohol evaporates. Otherwise, there's no point. There's no point in putting wine if you're not going to let the alcohol evaporate. But that now is going to start the process of cooking the rice. The next thing we'll add is obviously the water. So we're just about there now. All the wine has evaporated, and you can see how it's starting to get a little bit gloomy. Now the difference with Spanakorizo, as what you might use for traditional Italian risotto cooking, is that with the water, you put it all together. So we're going to put a total of 3 cups of water all at once. We're not going to just simmer it bit by bit like we might do for other risottos. With this one, you put it all in at once, just like that. And we just keep stirring. And this will take around about 5 minutes to 10 minutes. to just work its way and start absorbing the rice. And we'll come back in about 5 minutes and I'll show you that it will nearly be done and it'll be time to add the rest of our ingredients, our leek, and also, of course, our main ingredient, our spinach. Okay, you can see now that it's starting to absorb a lot more of the rice than it did earlier. So we're halfway there. It's been around 4 minutes. So what I'm going to do now is quickly put in a chicken stock, just to give it that extra sort of bounce and flavour, just like that. There we go. I didn't want to put that in right at the start because we're not making a soup. We want to keep the flavour as intense as we can. So by putting it in halfway through, you're keeping the intensity of the stock a lot higher. There we go. A couple more minutes and we'll put in our spinach. So we'll come back over here. I've started already cutting it up, but we'll just finish up cutting our leek, just like this. Nice and thin, like that. Beautiful. And then we'll combine that with our dill as well, just over here. Put that in, and of course our main ingredient, our spinach. Slowly getting to the end of the cooking process of our rice. So what we're going to do now is put our last few ingredients. We'll bring it over here and we'll put in our beautiful chives just in there, and that's probably enough, I'd say. Good handful. We'll give it a bit of a mix and a stir just to see how much is in there, and I'd say that's probably enough. And then on top of that, we don't want this cooling down, so we're going to do it over here. So coming close, and we're going to add our spanaki. And if you look at our spanaki, look how smaller and scrunched up it's become since I've crunched it. And if you look down the bottom, you'll see all the juice. And that's what I was trying to achieve by scrunching it up earlier and putting a little bit of salt. So there we go. We'll put our spanaki in as well, just there. And we'll grab some pepper. There we go. Plenty of pepper to give it a nice taste, as well as plenty of salt. There we go. We'll give that a bit of a mix, just like this. There we go. And give that a couple of minutes before we put our butter, which will then melt all the way through our rice, our spinach, and our leek, and just cream it up. So we'll leave that like that, just for a couple of minutes. We don't need to cook the spinach too long, and we'll come back and put the butter in and plate up our beautiful Spanakorizo. Welcome back now. It's time to finish up our plate, our beautiful Spanakorizo. So what we're going to do, if you come in close, you'll see where it's at. Look at that. Beautiful. Just a little bit of juice at the bottom, and that's what we want. We don't want to overcook it, and we don't want it to become just like a blutzer, as I would call it. So that's it there. Now, 2 more steps to go. We've got a little bit of lemon zest. So we want to do that. Put that in like that. All the way through. All the way through. Beautiful. That's it. We'll do the whole lemon to give it that beautiful flavour. There we go. That should be enough. We'll put that away. And finally, we have our butter. So we'll grab a nice chunk of butter, just like that. One's enough. And what we'll do is we'll just mix that around. And what that's going to do is thicken it up and give us this beautiful, beautiful spinach risotto creamy base. There it goes. You can see it moving away and hiding and eventually evaporating. You never put too much to start with. Always put one small one and then another one as well, just to see, to make sure that you got enough. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. And that's just thickened it up a little bit. It's made it like a risotto gravy. There we go. All up, it's taken us around 15 minutes to cook it on the Crossroad barbecue. Nice, healthy alternative to the traditional steak or Scotch fillet that you would cook on your barbecue. So here we are. Time to just plate it up. There we go. Just like that. Beautiful. A little bit more. There we go. Beautiful. And just a bit on top. There we go. So we'll put that away for now. put our bench away, clean up our plate, oh, just like this. Then we go